Hello, everyone. Welcome to this channel. My name is Christiana Davidson. I'm a psychotherapist and a hypnotherapist, and you are so welcome here, whether it's your first time. If it is, please subscribe, or if you're a returning viewer. And if you are, thank you so much for your support. Also, please like this video. It really helps, if you do watch it, just to give it a like, a thumbs up, because it helps to get my ratings up. And as you'll see, I'm quite a fledgling channel at the moment. Okay, we've got an important topic today. I think I always say that, don't I? But we're looking today at the narcissistic friendship group. Now, the thing is, we might leave our narcissistic family system only to find ourselves immersed in a group of friends which is pretty similar to what we've exited from in childhood. And what's the reason for this? Well, narcissists operate within a system, don't they? They need a system. So it's no surprise then that friendship groups, if they have a narcissist or narcissists in them, are going to operate using a very similar system to the one that you experienced in childhood with your narcissistic parent. They're going to use the same tactics, but in a group context. So it's even more, what can I say, intimidating in some ways. It's not just one narcissist. Now you've got a group that are operating under this narcissistic system. So when we think about friendship, many say it can be the greatest gift on earth, the greatest gift of a lifetime to discover friendship. It's meant to be a haven of support, of respect, of encouragement. It's a place to have fun, to let your hair down, to feel included, without questioning that, to feel valued and celebrated. It's a place to belong, even though you might be different. You still feel a sense of ease with your friends. And our friendship groups can take on even a more important role for those of us who've gone no contact or have stepped away from our families. They become almost like another family. They take on a substitute family role. However, what often tends to happen is that we end up in groups that are narcissistic. And what I mean by that is they recreate our narcissistic family system. So narcissists, as you know, they seek supply. So when you have a narcissistic group, the mentality of the group is to go out and seek supply for the group, seeking admiration, attention. They have that narcissistic drive as a group. Even if there's only one narcissist in the group or if there's many, it doesn't matter. The group itself will have this narcissistic drive. So it's like a narcissistic unit that operates as a narcissistic system, where there is, some people are idealized, some people are discarded. It's the same dynamic that's in a narcissistic family system as well. So generally, you'll find in these friendship groups, and think of your own now, if you've come from a narcissistic family system, your friendship groups at the moment, are they structured around somebody who's kind of the golden child? Is there one sort of who's overtly in control and maybe another who's covertly in control? Is there a mascot child, the clown one or the funny one? Is there an invisible one? The one who's kind of there, but nobody really doesn't take up much space or part, isn't loud, or is kind of in the background of the group. And then, of course, is there a scapegoat? Is there a scapegoated person who's kind of on the periphery of the group, often the one who's liable to be rejected at any point, the one that people are they kind of feel obliged to let be part of the group, but don't really want them there. But they do, on the other hand, and we'll get to that now. So there is usually one person in the group who is less part of it than others. They are in, but they're kept not in at the same time, and are often cast out by the others in subtle and not so subtle ways. Why? Well, to keep those who are in feeling, oh, so safe, and to distract the members from the very fragile, superficial relationships that are inside the group. There's not really proper friendship within the group. In other words, one person becomes the bullied one, and they act as a kind of safety net, but also a warning to the members of the group. You know, should they not conform, should they think of calling out any issues or speaking the truth, that is what's going to happen to them too. And so everybody rallies around the narcissistic types in supporting their rejection of the scapegoated, bullied one. So here's some things to look out for if this is something that you've experienced. I've experienced it. It is the most awful thing. But here is some of the main things to look out for. And you will notice it's the same things to look out for as you do in a narcissistic relationship. So number one, they use passive-aggressive actions, words, comments. For example, one person in the group spoiling an event that you've hosted by making fun of things or ruining some element of it by not participating fully. And of course, when this narcissistic type does this demeaning of you, the others in the group will either remain quiet and just watch. They may watch with delight, but they won't do anything. Likewise, passive-aggressively not including you in group text messages, or giving a look of kind of devaluation or almost sort of, I don't know, what can we say, pity when you speak up. And there may be sort of shared looks between other group members while you're saying something, as if to say, you know, what's she on about? That kind of devaluing look, but between them against you. So it's kind of an unspoken rejection that can take place. Secondly, these narcissistic groups are going to exclude you. They use exclusion as a control tactic. So not inviting you to group events, and then discussing with everyone in front of you either what they're going to wear to the event or what it was like, how fabulous it was. Excluding you by not wanting to be near you when out in public, you know, making that quite obvious to go and stand with somebody else or to go and speak to somebody else, even someone who's not part of the group. Excluding you by not making any effort to reach out to you, and you being the one who has to constantly reach out. Then, you know, basing whether they do go to something that you invite them to on who else is going. Because if it's just you, or just you and another who are not, you know, the kingpins, they're liable not to go. Number three, talking about you behind your back. This is what the group does. They discuss you. Absolutely. The whole group will be labeling you in a way that makes you less than them, in a way that makes you look like the one with issues, that you're the loser. And then they'll say to you, no, you know, nobody's been talking about you, or nobody's been gossiping. Or they might say, well, others have thought this about you. I thought I'd just have to tell you, they kind of think this of you, that maybe you're a bit too much or too needy or something, or that others don't like you. Number 4, manipulation. Uh, Pretending to be so friendly to you in public in front of others, so that, the greater community sees how friendly they are with you, that they're not the problem. And then they ignore you behind closed doors. You don't get any texts, they don't reach out. It's as if you don't exist. Um, Also wanting to show you how excluded you are, by posting on social media, group pictures, group events, having, this fabulous day here with me and my friends, and then you're not included in that and not even invited. And then explaining that, well, it was somebody else who organized it, and you're not part of that, and any excuse under the sun. And wanting, in a way, to rub your face in it, as they say, because they know you'll see it. The group gaslights. This is part of how this narcissistic group of friends works. They will gaslight you, publicly being nice to you when others can see, but then privately really not giving a rat's or making zero effort at all towards you. They gaslight you by giving you a false sense of belonging occasionally, only to royally show you've been rejected in the next or soon after. So, for example, one of the group members, one of the kingpins might ask you, oh, let's go for a cup of tea one day. And you have a nice time and you think, gosh, this is really lovely. They've really made an effort here. And the next day, you'll see that there was some big event where all the girls were invited and you've been excluded again. Number 6, the group will be the victims. They will hold on to a victim mentality, that they're the victims of you, in other words. So if you speak up for yourself, or you call out some kind of manipulative behavior, or you just wish to talk openly and honestly about things, you'll be met with either a point blank, no, this is not my issue, it's yours. Or they will make it seem as if you are the villain, that you're the abusive one. You're too sensitive, that you're the problem, not them. Number 7, the group loves seeing your pain. This is how you can tell a narcissistic friendship group. They love to see you being excluded, even if momentarily. It just gives them that boost of supply. These groups feed off of publicly making it known that you are not wanted or included. They love to see you being outcast in front of others, so that all will know you aren't part of their cool club. You aren't good enough for them. So the group itself is narcissistic in that sense. All those members have an inflated sense of importance as a group. They have a constant need for attention and admiration as a group. They lack empathy and have an exploitative view of others. In other words, what can they take as a group? How can they maintain their reputation as a group and benefit from it? It's all about the next Instagram picture, the next Facebook post, in order to maintain their individual and group grandiose image and control over others. They need to maintain power over you, so they use bullying to affect your self-esteem. They use emotional manipulation primarily, and love bombing, discarding, to train you to be low in self-esteem so they can feel one up on you. They will get you to question your reality and your experience frequently. They will isolate you from the larger community, make you look like the one with issues. So you can hear from what I've just shared here, these friendship groups, these narcissistic friendship groups, act as bullies, and they function just like being in a narcissistic relationship. Now, if this is you and you've experienced this kind of abuse, I have, as I've told you, and it's doubly impactful because you're faced here with a group now, not just an individual narcissistic partner. You've got a group of them, and they're all ganging up on you and making you doubt yourself. So the impacts here are, number one, depression. Number two, anxiety. Really intense anxiety, because every time you go out, you're wondering what are people saying behind my back? What are people who are not even in the group saying behind my back? It causes you to isolate. It causes social withdrawal and a hugely low self-esteem. Because you think about it, your friends are there to encourage and support. And when you end up with one of these types of groups, my goodness, the impact on your self-esteem is the big wound. So this is exactly where they want you. They want you destroyed in your self-esteem and powerless, just so that they can feel better amongst themselves. If you decide you're going to move on, maybe you decide to go no contact, or you leave the country or whatever, leave the area, all they'll do is simply appoint another scapegoat in the group. And each of them knows that, so they don't want to lose you in that sense. Or if you stay, once you as supply has, as in a narcissistic relationship, it's lost its taste, it's worn off, they'll appoint another scapegoat too. So my advice to you is to just let them get on with it. Just observe them. Change how you refer to these people, from my friends to acquaintances, people I know. Choose to bring them off the pedestal, because they do not belong on a pedestal. And then really look to be around people who do not cause you to feel ill at ease or not good enough or less than. And be wary of those who constantly post pictures of their social life, of what they're doing on social media, of them with the group. It's all propaganda. And it's often aimed at covertly communicating a message to you and others that they are in and you aren't. But do you know what? Thank God you're not. It isn't easy at all, this. When there is one narcissistic person, like I said, it's bad enough. But when you have a group mentality like this, it's like a gang of bullies. And it's doubly destructive and doubly disconcerting. You need someone who can validate you. Maybe there is someone in your life who you can share this kind of thing with and who will call it out with you. That can be so helpful. Number two, you'll need to see clearly that it isn't you, but them. It's their gang mentality. And that actually they haven't got much in their lives. This is what they need to feed on. Bullying. You need to limit your time with them and see behind their messages and posts the truth. There's somebody there with a very fragile self-esteem, and nothing they do is to be trusted because it's all manipulation and they're all in it together. So walk away. You don't need to associate with people who have chosen to live this way. We're not judging them. We're just saying that's your choice, but it's not for me. Let them be as they wish, but you go on to live as you see fit. And then really importantly here, we have to make sure that we are not doing the same. We're not being cliquey in our own group. We're not kind of seeking out a scapegoat in order to feel better ourselves or putting ourselves above or below others. I hope that was helpful, everyone. Friendship can be such a gift. I have some wonderful friends in my life, and I'm so grateful for them. But we have to be on the alert for these groups of narcissistic friends who are out only to demean, devalue, and destroy others in order to maintain their false, grandiose, public self-image. If you would like to work with me, please do reach out. I have so many different options, different ways of working, but my main one is a course, and it includes psychotherapy and hypnotherapy. I also have 2 events coming up. One is a 1-hour live Zoom session. It's $25, and it's entitled The Chaos of the Narcissistic Family System. You're all welcome to sign up for that. Come along and learn a bit more about how this system operates and the chaos of it. And then another one is all about comfort eating, which is something I find quite common in the work I do with clients who come from narcissistic family systems. And if you'd like to have a bit of help with that in very practical ways, effective ways, that will be the one for you. So check out my website, www.delightinyou.com. Sign up for a free consultation, sign up for those 2 free events, and I look forward to meeting you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye now.